Andrew Mack here with Trial by Combat, MMA Allender, and Fight House Media. Today I'm joined by Eric Huynh, who's fighting for Cage Titans on September 14th. Eric, how you doing?
I'm feeling excited, dude. It feels great to go back in the cage in just a week from now, getting the nerves in, all that, but feel fucking awesome, dude.
So I usually start asking fighters about their background. I'm looking at your topology. Head coach Kim Jong Un, other coaches Archduke Franz Ferdinand, style kicking ass. So what's that about?
Hell yeah. You know, I just wanted to be like more down to earth. I feel like there's a lot of fighters out there that are like super macho and stuff, and I just wanted to be a little bit more goofy. But I think I just finished watching the interview. It was that one movie with like James DeFranco,
Yep.
like in the Kim Jong-un movie, and that was just like I just finished watching it, so I thought it'd just be funny if I put that in there. And I like history, and so Archduke Ferdinand, he's the guy that got like assassinated, that started the whole World War II shabagle. So just figured might as well be a little goofy about it. Nothing too serious there.
That'd be a crazy corner to see
Yeah,
though.
that'd be hilarious, dude.
So how did you get your starting the martial arts?
So I started around lockdown, like just when lockdown started. So that was like sophomore year of high school for me. Um, I already liked being physical. I liked to move around and stuff, but I didn't really have many opportunities to do that, especially during like school and stuff. And what got me interested in fighting specifically, there's this one specific manga or like anime called Kengan Ashura. And at the time when I was reading it, it was like these underground like fighting tournaments where these huge billionaire businesses settle their beef by paying these like fighters to basically fight to the death. And I thought that shit was so cool at the time. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to fight. And then that started my whole career. And at the time, when I was still like beginning, I trained at this gym called Level Ground, which I still do sometimes. And they had this great program for anybody who's under 18, where if you're under 18, you go there for free. And so I was going there pretty much every single day, especially during lockdown. And then after lockdown, I still went. I did um, wrestling in high school too. And from there, I met great coaches. I met Kyle Schofield, Mike Rodriguez, Jacobo Hudson, all these great, amazing guys. And Jacobo introduced me to Back to Basics because I go to Northeastern, and Back to Basics is right here at Back Bay. So I started training here at Back Bay. Me and Jeff, like, we clicked, we had an amazing connection, and I just continued from there. We're just getting started pretty much.
So how is it like starting martial arts during like lockdown, with, like all these restrictions, like oh you can't like touch the person, all that stuff?
It was really weird. I know a lot of my coaches and a lot of the managers hated like that, the no touching shit, especially with like what we do. At the time when I was training at Level Ground, we actually had to train in a field like outside of this like school in Fields Corner, and we just like we had to hold like these like long tubes of like the pool noodles. We actually had to
Yeah.
hold that for like each other and just like try and make it work, which um it was still fun. It still did work. It created a really good like base for me just to like get used to everything and all the movements. But it was weird. It was really wacky, but I'm glad that that was over. Like the whole no touching thing ended pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a karate instructor during lockdown, and our sparring was you stand 6 feet apart and you pretend to fight each other and imagine that they're right
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah.
It was
No,
crazy.
like it was really wacky.
So looking at your record, you had a Muay Thai fight earlier this year. At what
Yep.
point do either you or your coaches feel that you're right? All right, let's get into the ring. Let's try something out.
So after that Muay Thai fight, I think it was a couple of weeks after that, I was training at Sityodtong during their MMA practice, and I had like no idea who anybody was there, like who anybody was who were training there at the time. And so, I was just going in there doing my thing. And I think that's when Jeff like saw like the MMA potential in me. He really believed that my style was meant more for MMA. Not saying that I won't do more Muay Thai fights in the future. I'm gonna do every single thing I can. But he liked my style for MMA. And so uh we switched from like Muay Thai to MMA specifically. Because at the time I was training for my next No Boundaries fight. I was ready to get back in there and try and get a win. But Jeff was like, no, fuck that. July, Cage Titans, and we're here now, pretty much. Yeah.
So you have that experience with Thai, but I also look at your smooth comp, and I think it's like 16-3 record, so very good record on the ground.
Thank
Do
you.
you feel like you're stronger on the ground or on your feet?
I feel like I'm pretty sh strong all around. The only reason why I haven't done ground stuff yet is just because at the moment, like Jeff said this about MMA to where doesn't matter what your belt is, the moment you're in the cage, you drop a level or like a belt level, and I'm just a blue belt, so like there's no point in like trying to get these like cool submissions or like do all this groundwork off, especially when we're really sweaty and like all this other shit can happen. Not saying that I won't do groundwork or I won't wrestle or I won't submit, but it's just like if it happens, it happens. But I shouldn't be focusing on getting these like submissions and grappling things on, if that makes sense.
So
But
talk about
yeah.
your last fight. It was a very controversial ending. Let's
Hmm.
start with the elephant in the room. I just watched the fight like half hour ago, and
Right.
like the second Andy's like, "Ba ba 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 ba," score for Damon Goliath, your face is just like, what the fuck? So what was
Yeah.
going through your head at that point?
So from during the fight, like in the corner, Jeff and Jacobo told me I won the first round. I don't know if they told me that just to like get my confidence up or just like give me that mindset of like, okay, I'm doing what good. But I generally thought I did pretty well the first round. He did get some like pretty good shots on me, but like uh, I didn't think it would be that significant, especially when I was returning most of them as well. Um, so that's why I was a bit confused. At the end of the fight, I was really sure I did win that fight, especially with like Jeff carrying me and like on the back and stuff. I was like under the pretense that I did it, but judges will be judges and they'll score however they want. But honestly, I don't really even care that like the outcome, how the outcome was. I think me losing like that actually gave me more notoriety than anything else. And like at the same time, it's also amateur. I don't care. I plan to fight like a whole shit ton this year and next year and so forth. And I'm only 20. I'm still in college. Like, it doesn't matter how many losses I get. It's just gonna help me. So, you know,
Have you had a chance to watch that fight back yet?
I have, yeah, a couple of times. I really liked how I performed, and I think starting now, if that's how I'm performing for my first debut fight, I'm very, very confident that I'm gonna perform even better for this upcoming fight. Um, And looking at the fight, I do think I won. Like it's very controversial. Some people are saying I won round one. Some people saying I won round three instead. Uh, Overall, I think I did pretty great for who I was dealing with. An amazing fighter from an amazing gym who was also like who's super jacked and also a college wrestler. So I think for that like whole instance, I think I did pretty well for what it was.
So when I watched the fight,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
said, I think you won. Round one was decently close, but I think you got it. Round two was clearly yours. Round three, another close one. I would slightly give it to him. And then he also went to the hospital afterwards. So like I feel like
yeah.
if you won a decision but you're in the hospital, I'm not sure how legitimate that decision is.
Right. I heard he went to the hospital because of a broken hand and something else. So like if that's the case, like if if him fighting me caused him to go to the hospital, I think, I deserve to win at least like because like damage wise, output wise, like I was in the back getting drunk as fuck with my coaches and I plan to do the same thing again. So, judging can be really weird sometimes and all that, but at the end of the day, it's the fans that matters. It's like the people who watch, people love that fight, people were entertained. That was like the loudest I heard people cheering for my fight specifically. And so that's all I really care about. As long as it's an amazing fight, which it was, and it created a lot of emotion, a lot of, output, that's what matters really, especially in the fight game too. So,
So the commentators are mentioning that that was instantly a contender for amateur fight of the year in your
mhm.
MMA debut. What about your style do you think makes you so exciting?
I think it's just my style. I don't give a fuck if I get hit, and I just keep on rushing and pushing against you. Um, and the fans love a brawl. They love a dogfight. Especially as much as I love to grapple and wrestle. uh, that can be a little bit boring sometimes. So when they seeing two guys go at it, like go all like put in their all, that means something to them. That is an exciting fight to watch.
And what would you say the
Yeah.
biggest lesson you learned from that fight is?
Um, we've been drilling a lot, but pretty much just don't get greedy. Uh, but stay consistent with the pressure and be more calm. I feel like I got a little bit too excited, especially in the second round. I in my opinion, there was a lot of moments in that second round where I could have easily finished the match. So other than that, have fun, enjoy it more, you know.
And you mentioned that you're in college.
Yes,
A big thing that college fighters have is the balance between schoolwork, trying to have a social life, and then training and fighting. How do you find that balance?
I have not. I am academically cooked this semester. I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. The one good thing is though I have two asynchronous courses, which are like more gen ed, like easier classes, and then my two harder ones, I'm honestly screwed. But and I have co-op. I gotta start applying for co-op this semester too, which is basically a semester where I have to do an internship. But it's basically just as a job search. So I gotta do school plus job search and then training. I don't know. I'm dorming this year. I'm a third year, so but I chose to dorm just so I'm closer to my gym. Last year I was commuting in like an hour from my home to the gym to school and all that. So hopefully that helps. But if anything, my social life has become the gym pretty much. Like all most of my friends are here. If they're not here, they're on Discord. So I don't really need to. But yeah, my coach Jeff, he went to college. He was working and he was fighting. So that gives me inspiration to push hard to keep grinding. Like, 'cause if he can do it, I can do it too. And yeah, just go through the fire and just try and make it out. That's my mindset on this whole academic thing right now.
What are you in college for?
Yeah. So I study MIS. It's called Management Information System. It's basically glorified IT work. Uh, but yeah, I'm basically working with like computers, and just like all that stuff, like information, databases, servers, all that kind of jazz, pretty much.
I think I have a cousin who's majoring in that, but it might be something like slightly different. So, what do you want to do with that degree? Is it just like a backup for if fighting doesn't work, or is that your primary career goal?
It's more of a backup. It's something to keep my parents are like Asian immigrants,
Yep,
so it's
I
like,
know the feeling.
yeah, it's just to keep their mouth shut for a while. I got like 2, 3 more years before I graduate, so hopefully that keeps them quiet till then. Um, Also with MMA, like you never really know what happens. I could fall the wrong way one day and then never be able to walk again. Like, so with that, like emergency, at least with IT, it's like, there are jobs in like revolving computers and stuff that pay a lot. So hopefully I can find a part-time job that can help fund my MMA career because, especially starting out, MMA is not really that known for, making that much money.
Yeah.
So just something I can keep, above water at the moment. So yeah, pretty much just a backup right now. Yeah.
So, I'm also the son of Vietnamese immigrants. They both tried to go to college, but they just couldn't afford it because they were trying to survive as well, coming like during after the war. Did your
hmm
parents go to college, or you be the first one in your family to go through college?
I would be the first one in my family, honestly. My mom never really had like a full education. She like she grew up really poor in Vietnam, and then my dad, I don't think he ever really finished. And they both like my mom works as a nail tech, my dad is a carpenter, so they those aren't really like very high profit jobs. So they work really hard to get me here, and so the most I can do for them is achieve their dreams of like me going to college for them, even if that's not really what I want. At least that's something I can like have for the family. Yeah.
When you graduate, I got a gift for you.
Thank you. Do appreciate it.
So going back to your fight. So you're fighting. Is it this Saturday? Yeah,
Yeah. This.
this
No.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Or yeah, depending on how
Yeah.
you look at how weeks work.
Yeah.
So how's your fight camp been preparing for this fight?
Honestly, it's just been an add-on to my first fight camp. I never really stopped after my fight with Damien. Like I wasn't really that hurt. Like my foot hurt a little bit, but other than that, we just went right back into grinding, honestly. Um Same thing, Monday through Saturday, about 3, 4 hours a day, nonstop. And like school just started too, so this is like the perfect for me because I'm not even like drowning in work yet or anything like
Yeah.
that. So per me this couldn't have been set up like any better for me, honestly.
So this your opponent's first fight. So you don't
hmm
have any really footage to go off of. Are you just focusing this camp on yourself and your style, or have you tried to find like a little bit information on him?
So my coach has a thing where he does not want me to know anything about any of my fighters
Interesting.
at all. Just like go in there blind for every single fighter. For Damien, that was the same thing. All I knew about Damien was that he was a southpaw and that he was a jacked wrestler. Uh, Only thing I know about this guy is that he likes to box. He's a orthodox guy. He could be a southpaw. I don't know, but I trained for a southpaw, so it doesn't really matter. Um, but yeah, we tried looking him up. Like my friends low-key stalked him for me. I didn't ask for that, but like they were like, "Yo, you want to know all this stuff about him?" Like, I don't care, dude. But but doesn't matter who or what he did. I'm gonna go in there and do my thing and get that win. You know.
So win, lose, or draw. What do you want the crowd to think of you when you exit that cage?
What a dog. What an amazing fighter. I honestly like, especially with amateur, I really don't care if I lose. If I can if I can have every fight be like fight of the year type of vibe, then like that's all I really care about. Especially with how like early my career is. Um, the results don't really matter to me. I've proven to myself, to my teammates and my friends and my coaches that I can stand my ground, that I can put in the work and I can dish out the punishment. So it doesn't really matter the outcome. I don't think fighters should. I mean, you should, but like you should work. Focus more on just giving it your all in there, and that's what I just want to do, and that's what I want the fans, the people who watch, to clearly see that as well.
And how much fun do you have when you're in that cage? Because I think between like round one and two, like you were dancing, like waiting for the ref to start the round.
Yeah, I was group. I don't know what song they were playing. I need to Shazam it, but like that whatever song they were playing, it was so fucking good. And like I wasn't even dancing to be like I didn't even plan it. I wasn't dancing to mock my opponent or anything like that. I was just in the zone and um I feel like a lot of times a lot of like fights people are like I need to get serious. I need to be like this like grinder like alpha mindset, but like dude, just have fun in there. I feel like that's the best way to be your best self. Like people fight and people do MMA because they have fun. So why not have fun in the cage as well? You know?
Yeah, Pierre Bear at the main event of that event or last event was saying the same, like, "Oh, Gina was being so serious," and you look over at Pierre, he's like dancing the Soldier Boy.
Yeah. No, literally. Like, I feel like if you get too serious, you get too stiff and like not as loose. And then I think that can also like really heavily affect how you fight as well, which you don't want.
So
Yeah.
it's September right now. The semester's starting up. Do you intend to fight again after this fight, or do you think your next fight will be next year?
I think I'm fighting in October for No Boundaries, and I think that there might be a No Boundaries tournament in January as well. But pretty much what Jeff has told me was that uh doesn't matter what the competition is, doesn't matter what kind of fight it is. He's gonna try and book me for like every single thing. As long as as long as I'm physically able, I'm doing every single thing, and so is my teammate Ruben as well. Like we're nonstop. We're gonna go full throttle and see how far we can go with it. Yeah.
You said New Boundary in October, right?
Yes.
Do you have an opponent for that, or you just have your name in?
Just have my name in right now. I don't. Jeff is like we do not care who it is. Just get in there. You get as much experience as we can.
All right, I think I'll be at that New Boundary. I'm excited to see you fight twice then.
Sweet, awesome, dude. Excited.
So everyone fights for a different reason. Why do you fight?
Why do I fight? Honestly, there's nothing much more to it than other than the fact that I just like doing it. I just enjoy it, like I fucking hate school in the sense that like, you know, I have a really low attention span. I hate not being able to move all day. And so being introduced to MMA, being introduced to my entire community, I just love everything about it. And then being able to put that on display for a bunch of other people, it's like it's an amazing feeling, you know. So that's nothing. It's honestly like to me, yeah. I mean, nothing much more to say about it other than that. I just love doing it. It's an amazing feeling, and like you can't do this once you're like at a certain age, you know. And I don't want to reach a point in my life where I regret not doing this, you know. Like I just want to see where the line is, and you don't know where to draw the line in your life until you have crossed it. So that's my mindset on it. I just like doing it, and I just want to keep on doing it for as long as I possibly can.
So being
Yeah,
a Vietnamese fighter, Vietnam's not really known for their martial arts. They have their national martial arts like Vo Vietnam, Viet Vo Dao or something that like I think a
yeah.
whole 12 people do. No disrespect to them, but
I used to do that. I used to do it,
oh
dude.
really?
Back in Georgia. Yeah, well, very very fun time. But yeah.
And then even in like
Uh,
one championship, there's a lot of Asian representation, but I can think of like three Vietnamese fighters in their entire promotion. So how
yeah.
does it feel like, especially in America, like having almost entire culture like on your back?
I feel really privileged. Um, like to be able to just represent my Vietnamese community, especially like I live in Dorchester, which is like a very heavy Vietnamese population. I just feel really like just really happy that I can represent like this community of mine, especially since like Vietnam is like, you know, not as the fighter for at least for fighter wise, like not many Vietnamese fighters. So I'm glad that I can represent like a part of our martial arts and a part of our community to like the bigger, you know, stage of fighters in MMA.
I usually have the food questions at the end, but since you mentioned Dorchester, what's the best place to get food in Dorchester? Because I was there like last week.
I'm sorry, you cut out. What's the best place to get what?
Food in Dorchester, because I was just there last week, and Dorchester's just known for like amazing like Vietnamese and Asian food.
Honestly, you can't go wrong with pho. If you like traditional like Vietnamese dishes, whether it be like rice or noodle dishes, pho is an amazing spot. Pho too, but I fuck with pho. Pho has the fish tank. I fuck with that. But
I find it so fun that they're literally like, across the street from each other.
yeah, I've always wondered if they have any kind of rivalry. I feel like they do. It'd
They
be kind
have
of
to
funny
be,
if
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, pho is definitely the place. Saigon seafood is also pretty good too, honestly. But
So I see you
yeah.
got your gamer headset. You were mentioning Discord. Imagine that you have gaming as a hobby.
Not for this semester. I doubt this semester, but yeah, I used to game a lot. If it wasn't MMA, like especially during lockdown, if it wasn't MMA, it was video games. I would be doing like 4 hours in the gym and then like 20 hours just gaming. Um, but unfortunately, I can't do that anymore because I have to be an adult, unfortunately. But I love gaming. I recently like bought like Black Myth Wukong. I want to play that real bad.
Oh yeah.
Um, the new Black Ops 6 game too, Valorant. Like I love playing those types of games. Rainbow Six Siege, like yeah, I if it's not video games, I mean if it's not MMA, not school, it's that pretty much. Yeah.
So is there anything else in your life besides martial arts, video games, and school?
Um, at the moment, I'm helping Jeff like doing construction for his new gym right now. We're
Nice.
moving into a bigger facility. It's like right above our new place. So if I'm not doing any of that, I'm helping him with that. I live right next to a gym now, so I'm basically on call for him. And other than that, I'm a brother. Like I help my like whenever I can like visit back home, I help my parents out taking care of my brother. Like he's only 12 right now. My parents work like every day, so I can be here for him and like do whatever he needs, whether helping him out with his homework or cook food or whatever else he needs. I'm there for him. And if not that, I'm working. I work as a server at Kura Sushi. So
Is
yeah.
that the revolving sushi place?
Yeah, that's the revolving. It's the
I
one in
love it.
South Bay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about your gym. What's like the vibe there? Is it more like regimented, more family, somewhere in between? Goes back and forth.
Honestly, the best way I can like describe it like is so many like awesome people here and they're so skilled and so talented and and just a person in general they're like great people. It's basically like if you want to have like the best training session for the entire week or for you basically come here but then at the end of the day like you can see them like just in the couch like smoking weed basically when you need to get serious, when you need that dogfight and you need to like you know um give everything you got, this gym is where you want to do it. But at the same time, if you just want to fuck around at the end and just chill, Like usually a bunch of people is gonna put something on Netflix and then just share a bowl or like a joint around. So it's that kind of vibe. It's like get serious when we need to. There's so many dogs in here that are like crazy guys who are so good and so awesome. But at the same time, it's hey, do you want to smoke a blunt later? Like, which helps because we are like in Back Bay. It's like a bunch of college kids here, so it does help with the friendly environment and all that.
So the last event, I think you have like 3 or 4 fighters on the same card. So how do you feel like to come to the event and fight as like a team?
It definitely helps with the nerves. It makes me feel like I'm coming in as like a family, pretty much, or like a whole squad coming in with me. So I don't feel alone when I'm stepping into the cage almost, because everybody who I've trained with, um, they've given me so much. They've helped me prep so much that I just feel feel really good, especially when we're going to Plymouth and all that weight cut. It helps mentally when there's so much support around you.
So what would, let's say, short term goal? Where do you want to see yourself a year from now?
Short-term goal, I want to get into like maybe for the entire year, like school year, pretty much. I want to put in about 6 to 7 more fights. Doesn't matter if it's cage fights, combat, more no boundaries or whatever. I just want to get in there and fight some guy. Uh, Obviously, school willing, assuming that I don't get drowned in schoolwork. That's my goal plan. Um, but yeah, just fight as many guys as possibly can, compete in as many like tournaments, whether it be a Muay Thai tournament, grappling tournament, it doesn't matter. So just that, put in as much work as I can. That's just the goal.
And past the next year, long term goals. Where do you see yourself, or where do you want to see yourself?
Long-term goals next year, you said?
Yeah, long term goals. So like more than a year.
I Depending on how many fights I get, I graduate in like 2027, so about 2 years from now, consider like or 2 3 years from now. Um, Depending on how many fights I already have and how Jeff feels about it, I hope to be like a pro by the time I graduate, you know. Um, I'm planning on doing like 3 co-ops throughout my like college career. One of those co-ops is gonna be at Back to Basics, where I'm gonna be operations manager, but like, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna be fighting
I
pretty much.
gotcha.
So, so during that time, put in as much effort as I can and then come out as a pro and hopefully start fighting as a pro as soon as possible.
All right, we're gonna hit some
Yeah.
of your favorites. If you want to give a story, you can give a story. If you just want to give the favorite, move on. You can do that as well. Your favorite big league fighter.
Big league fighter, Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse. Fucking love him, dude.
So sad when you retired like a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking bawling my eyes out, dude.
He literally said fight announcement soon, and then he retired. Like you can't do that to us.
No, literally screwed it over. But yeah,
Your favorite regional fighter that's not one of your teammates or yourself.
regional. Mitra Paso. I mean, he went on to the big leagues now, but I really like him. The fact that he like got into the UFC at such a young age, 25. Like by the time I graduate, I'll be like 22, 23. So that's like not too like far from him. Um, it's inspiring. It helps me, like it motivates me in the sense of like if he can do it, I can definitely do it. So yeah, he's a good fun guy to watch as well.
Man, you're making me feel old. I'm only 22. Your favorite fight to watch.
Favorite fight to watch? Hmm. Let me think about it. Let me see. Honestly, the last it's pretty recent, but the Holloway versus Gaethje
Oh
fight,
hell yeah!
yeah, yeah, there's no doubt about it. That was fucking amazing, dude.
I
Like that's the
was
kind of like vibe I want to have in my kind of fight.
I was at the Coops bar like with the Cage Titans crew, a bunch of the fighters, and when that
Right.
knockout happened, like the entire bar like exploded, like people were
Oh,
falling over. It was awesome.
yeah, no, the vibes were fucking immaculate, dude.
Your favorite submission to hit.
Hmm. Mission hit. Probably on bar. No particular reason. I just find myself hitting that move a lot, hitting that submission a lot. So it's been my favorite so far.
Like a classic armbar or like a guard armbar, or what are we talking about? So many types of armbars.
Classic, honestly. You never go wrong with it.
Your favorite food to eat after weigh-ins before the fight, so you can have a little more calories, but you still gotta eat healthy.
Sushi, especially since the fact that I work at the Revolver Sushi Bar, I get such an amazing discount. So, I just eat as much as I possibly can, and it's healthy. So, it's just rice and then proteins and avocado and cucumber and all that stuff. So, not too bad. Not too
What
bad.
What's your favorite type of sushi or roll of sushi, whatever?
Caterpillar roll and definitely uni, but I haven't found many places that do uni justice though.
Oh yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
And then after the fight, when you can eat whenever you want, what you eating?
Um, Bonchon
Yeah.
in Austin? Yeah, I want some. I haven't had that in a minute, but I've been craving that honestly. So that and like maybe like kimchi poppy corn dogs.
I've only had
Yeah.
banchan from the location Lowell, and it wasn't that good, but I've heard the Allison location is a lot better.
Yeah, Austin's fucking fire, dude.
If you could ask yourself a question at the end of your career now, so like you time travel to whenever you retire, what would you want to know or ask of that type version of Eric?
I would want to ask him. I guess it's a two-parter, but like, was it fun and was it worth it? And as long as that future Eric says hell yes, fuck yeah, dude, then I know I'm living the right dream, living the right path.
And then flip that question. If you could go back in time now to not that long ago, right before your Damien fight, what would your message to yourself be?
Right before my Damien fight, um, I'd probably tell him not to worry as much. I was like 3 months like ahead of the fight, and I was already like so fucking scared, dude. Like I was having nightmares about it. So if I could tell myself anything, just I would tell him to enjoy it and like have fun. And it's like it's not that deep. If you lose, you lose. Like who gives a fuck? Um, so I would just tell him to chill and yeah, have fun.
Awesome. Any last message you want to give? Any thanks you want to give like teammates or coaches or anything?
Yes. A teammate of mine, Ruben Bitar, he's also fighting. Uh, a couple other guys, Phil, fucking Jerry, Matt, and a bunch of other dudes are fighting too who are from Sit. Uh, Good luck to them. Wish them the best of luck. Um, Shout out to Dorchester. Shout out to Humjoy Life. Shout out to Back to Basics. We are moving to a new location soon that's triple the size of our current gym.
Nice.
So you live in Back Bay and you need a place to train, come over to us. But yeah, other than that, if I didn't mention you, thank you. You like anybody who's trained with me, you've helped me get here, no matter what it was, whether it was just drilling or like we just trained one time in class. You did help me get to this location point in my life. So thank you. I'm very grateful and very privileged to be here. And I'm excited to see what happens from now.
All right. Good luck, and I hope to see you in the interview room.
Thank you, man. See ya. Appreciate it.